Boom, all right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about my number one high-risk stock pick for the year of 2020. All right, so I know that's a bold statement to make, but trust me, I have been thinking about making this video for the past few weeks now. This stock has been in my portfolio for a very long time, and I was actually waiting until next week to release this video, so it lined up with the event that we're going to talk about here pretty soon that relates to this stock. But it started exploding today, so I figured that I had to get this out and turn you guys on to this stock prior to it going up even further and having to wait on me to make this video. Okay, so as you can see here, right over in this corner, the stock is Riot Blockchain, ticker symbol Riot. I'm not trying to hide it at all. I have my phone mirrored here. We'll open it up on Robinhood. Already have it open right there. So yeah, again, this is Riot Blockchain. This is ticker symbol Riot. Again, I've been following this for a very long time. This, as you can see, is a blockchain company. We'll do a deep dive into this, you guys. Don't worry. But right now, I'm just gonna sum it up real quick. This is a Bitcoin mining company, and primarily a Bitcoin mining company, and they also invest in some blockchain industries as well. Okay, so the Bitcoin halving's happening next week. I was gonna line up the video with this, but again, I needed to get this video out now because, as you can see here on the screen, obviously, this stock was up over 30% today. So 22% today, up as much as 13% after hours. So in total, up over 30% today. This is honestly the move I've been waiting for. And again, I wish I turned you guys onto this a little sooner, but trust me, better late than never. And just know that my money's on the fact that this stock will go a lot further over the duration of this year. Speaking of that, always remember, you guys, before we get into it, that this is just my opinion, okay? This is not direct financial or investment advice. This is only my own opinion based on what knowledge and experience I do have. The reason I want to make this video is to hopefully inspire or encourage you guys to go on to do your own research, your own due diligence, and ultimately come to your own conclusion, okay? I can't legally give you guys investment or financial advice. So again, with any stock that you're ever recommended, always go on to do your own research and come to your own conclusion, okay? So that said, we'll also, if you guys go on to gain value from this video, got to ask you to give it a like and subscribe if you're not already and want to catch more content like it, okay? So I appreciate that as well. But all that said, let's get into Riot Blockchain, okay? So again, Riot Blockchain, we'll actually close this guy. Actually, you know what I want to show you guys right now before we kick it off? To kind of preface this, this is a post that Business Week, which is a Bloomberg Instagram entity, just posted this morning. It is currently May 7th as of recording this. So this is titled, "The Best Profit Maximizing Strategy is to Own the Fastest Horse. If I'm forced to forecast, my bet is it will be Bitcoin." So this is Paul Tudor Jones. Sorry, it's still, I read that so bad, but it still baffles me that Bloomberg, so a very well-established publication, posted that Paul Tudor Jones, who is one of the most reputable, like he falls under the same category as Warren Buffett, to be honest. So Bloomberg, reputable publication company, posted the fact that Paul Tudor Jones, who's one of the most respected macro investors of our generation, is buying Bitcoin, and that is his number one hedge to the current economic environment, okay? So I don't want to get into that now. I do make other videos on Bitcoin if you guys want to check those out. I have made other videos. I will continue to do so. So you guys can watch that for now, but this video is about Riot, okay? So I just wanted to show you that because this video and this company and the stock is very reliant on how Bitcoin performs over the course of this year and these next coming years, okay? So keep that in mind. I just wanted to show you guys that. We'll close out the phone right now. So close that and we'll get into the background. Let's close this. Here, sorry. There we go. Okay, so as you can see here, we have Riot Blockchain. This stock, we'll go over this. We'll go over Bitcoin's price. We'll go over what Riot is as a company. In their own words, this is Riot Blockchain's website. We'll go over a recent news article that Forbes published. And yeah, I'll just give you guys my take on Riot and why I believe it has a very bright future ahead of it, okay? And why I think 2020 is definitely going to be its year. All right, but prior to that, I wrote up a quick little summary. I like to do this on these videos just to give you guys kind of some off the dome. Again, I've been involved in this company for probably 3 years now, since their initial bull rally in 2017. Fun fact, this is actually the single stock that I've held in my portfolio for the longest time. It hasn't been a crazy amount up until fairly recently, but I have held this just because I feel like the asymmetric risk, which means that it takes very, very little capital to create a very significant return. Okay, so I believe the asymmetric risk actually means that the upside is significantly greater than the downside. So I believe Riot definitely falls under that category, and that is why I have been invested in it for years now. Okay, so again, I'll just read you guys my little cliff notes, my little summary of why some of the pros and cons in my mind of Riot, and then we'll get into the charts and the articles. All right, so Riot Blockchain, ticker symbol Riot again. Riot is a company which focuses on Bitcoin mining and blockchain technology investing. Pros: 1, the Bitcoin halving is happening next week, May 12th, 2020. So as of recording this again, May 7th, it's happening next Tuesday, I believe. That will bring a lot of attention to Bitcoin miners due to the fact that more people will become educated on the subject. 2, Riot is one of the only publicly traded crypto mining companies available on the market. So if retail investors want a piece of any crypto mining company, it will likely be them. All right, so as I said, Riot is a blockchain mining company. It is a Bitcoin mining company. And with the Bitcoin halving coming up just next week, Bitcoin's price, we'll get to that right after this, but Bitcoin is taking off right now. More people are being turned on to the halving. I have a lot of people asking me about what the Bitcoin halving is, just kind of friends and family. So that's always a good sign that there's a lot of attention being put on a space. Okay, and Riot, being a Bitcoin mining company, if the price of Bitcoin goes up, their revenue is directly correlated to that. Okay, so it's good to keep that in mind. And as more and more people are learning about this Bitcoin halving, they will be turned on to the technology behind Bitcoin, which is the Bitcoin mining companies, and who they are the ones who will be affected by this halving. And just knowledge of that will lead people to educating themselves about Bitcoin mining companies and the prospects and the potential of these mining companies, and they're going to want to get in on them. Okay, so Riot is the only on Robinhood, as far as I know, and almost all markets. There might be some over-the-counter Bitcoin mining companies you can invest in, but definitely on Robinhood, Riot Blockchain is the only Bitcoin mining company you can currently buy and even trade options on. Okay, so that said, Riot has a market cap of only $40 million at the time of writing this. It's actually higher now, just after today, so it's probably at about $45 million, $50 million maybe. But even still, that's a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of valuations and market caps, okay? At the time of writing this, low market cap companies have the potential to see insane growth without much invested capital. Okay, so just go over this quick. If you're not familiar with market cap, it's pretty much just the total value of the outstanding shares times the share price. Okay, so Amazon, it's a $1 trillion+ company. It takes a lot more capital to move the share price up, the price of a single share up, okay? Because the price of the company as a whole is so high. But Riot Blockchain being a small this is what's considered a micro cap stock, okay? So it's about as small as publicly traded companies come, okay? But that means the beauty of that is that it takes very little, in the grand scheme of things, very little cash in invested capital to move the individual share price up significantly. Okay, so that's very powerful when a stock like this catches traction. Even just retail investors, if large funds or anything don't get involved in this, it could do extremely well. Okay, so that is that is also dangerous. So keep that in mind. This is a very risky stock, but keep in mind that the fact that it has a low market cap gives it the potential to potentially rise very fast and very far. Okay, so Riot surpassed $30 per share during the cryptocurrency bull market of 2017. If the crypto market rallies to new all-time highs, I believe Riot will follow suit. So again, we'll after I read the rest of this, we'll jump into the charts in the back of Riot and Bitcoin. But yeah, I believe right now during this next upcoming cryptocurrency bull market, Riot will definitely follow suit and follow that trend of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin rising. All right, so 5, which is very important, Riot continues to release more and more meaningful good news over time, and I imagine that trend will only continue in their favor. All right, so like I told you guys, I've been invested in this company. I've been following this company for years now. They did have some rough points there, which I'll mention right here in the cons, But over the past 6 months specifically, they've been releasing a lot of real, like tangible good news. That really leads me to believe that they are doing good things and doing very real things in this space. And yeah, we'll dive into some of that news, but that right now, the fundamental side of it, the fact that they are really doing good things, and like provable good things, is very promising, obviously, for a company, for any stock you're going to invest in. Okay, so cons. One, Riot has dealt with some legal trouble in the past in regards to insider trading and price manipulation. That was back in 2017. Since then, all of those that were involved were removed from the company, and the case has been settled. There has been no shady practice since. Okay, so like I said, they had some trouble with the SEC back in 2017, and we'll talk about that when we look at the two charts. They were busted for insider trading. There was like a shady like a COO or someone fairly high up in the company, but not like the CEO or anything. But again, since then, that was all resolved in like 2018. That guy was fired, and they weren't allowed to buy any stock since then. Okay, so that's all passed. That has been legally passed, and yeah, they haven't had. It's all been good news since like late 2018. But always remember this company. Keep that in mind. This has seen a shady past, and that could reflect in consumer sentiment or like investor sentiment. If they were involved in that previously, they might not want to touch it again. But that's not my case, obviously. All right, so 2, it's risky. As I said, this is my number one high risk stock. No gamble, no gain, you know. So 2, it's risky. Riot Blockchain is a very young company in a very young and innovational space, which is blockchain. With all great innovation comes risk, and those who are early to the trend will be rewarded for that risk. Okay, so think about all, like, Amazon's a good example. So Amazon back in like 2000 went up a crazy amount and then crashed down 90%. Okay, that was back in 2000. That was years ago. Okay, so Amazon, again, now the largest market cap, the largest publicly traded company of all time at a valuation of over like $1.3 trillion. You have to remember, things take time. Like very revolutionary, innovational companies like this take time. So again, just because it's so young, it can see its price 10x in my opinion. But again, always remember, what goes up doesn't just go up forever. There will be corrections along the way, so just keep that in mind. All right. So speaking of corrections, let's take a look at this chart, because this was a large correction. So again, this was 2017. We'll look at this. So this is the exact. I tried to line this up as good as I could to show you guys kind of how correlated these two charts are. And you might think these aren't correlated at all, aside from 2017, which in that case you'd be right, because they are not. Okay, so as you can see here, 2017 Riot came all the way up to $45. Just for some perspective, Riot, although it was up like 30% today, it only ended at about $1.70. Okay, so it's crazy to know, but again, that's kind of what I was talking about with these companies that are low market cap. It spiked up from $3 to $45 within the span of what was that? So $3 August 2017 to the end of 2017. So call it 4 months. It over 10x, easily 10x. Well, even like right here, that's a little more fair, to 33. So yeah, it exactly 10x in the course of about 3 to 4 months. Okay, so that's obviously a great return, 1,000% return. But yeah, that's what these small market cap companies can do, just because, again, it doesn't take much capital to get these stocks to have these crazy movements. Okay, but with that, like with the upside comes the downside as well. Okay, and you can see here, this was obviously a bubble. Same thing happened to Bitcoin. If you guys remember that Bitcoin bull market of 2017, if you're too young or too new to the space, back in 2017, Bitcoin did that same exact 10x in the span of 4 months. And again, you can see Riot and Bitcoin were closely correlated, okay? But after that, Riot, that's when their kind of legal issues surfaced in like 2018, and they definitely lost that correlation with Bitcoin, okay? So you can see here, as Bitcoin came up and reclaimed this in 2019, Riot came up a little bit. So it went from $6 to, like $1.50 to about $6. So it did follow trend a little bit. It did follow suit. And Bitcoin actually just hit $10,000. That's crazy. So again, that's another thing, like I mentioned in the beginning, with the rise of Bitcoin, as people are turned on to Bitcoin mining and the potential of Bitcoin mining, they will be turned on to Bitcoin mining companies like Riot. And all this just to say, I don't want to ramble on any further about these charts, but my belief is that although it is now uncorrelated, let's just go to the 1 month right here. It's crazy how like low this is and how significant today was, but as you can see there, when I was at that macro time frame, it didn't look like anything. Okay, so this is today. I truly do believe that with the rise of Bitcoin and again, Riot releasing this good news that we'll jump into right now, actually. Riot releasing good news, Bitcoin going up, people being turned on to Bitcoin mining and the prospects of Bitcoin mining. People will be turned on to Riot and will further educate themselves on the company. And again, Riot being the only Bitcoin mining that retail investors can invest in. If you want a piece of a Bitcoin mining company, it's going to have to be Riot, okay? So very promising for Riot in my mind. I do believe that it will become significantly more correlated during this next cycle, okay? But always remember, just my opinion, can't articulate that enough, all right? So, Riot Blockchain, let's do a little dive into this, all right? So, this is Riot's website. I'm only going to read you guys this. You guys can feel free to go check it out for yourself. This is obviously a good place to educate yourself on what Riot is as a company. All right, so riotblockchain.com if you guys want to check it out. Again, there's portfolio about. You guys can look at news and media, investors, what they do. And again, I do really condone. I've looked through all of this. I would advise you to definitely do your research on this and look into this website prior to investing. Okay. So, Riot Blockchain, building gateways to blockchains. Riot Blockchain Inc. is focused on building, supporting, and operating blockchain technologies. We aim to be a part of this disruptive blockchain technology ecosystem that is revolutionizing transactions. We've also launched our own Bitcoin mining operation. Okay, so again, they do invest kind of like venture capital, angel investing in small blockchain startups and companies, which is very promising due to the fact that I definitely believe that that space will expand. Bitcoin is a great part of the blockchain ecosystem, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a small part, and there is so many more aspects to cryptocurrency and blockchain that I believe will be heavily utilized in the future, especially in this current economic environment. Okay, so again, that's all we're going to read there. We're going to look into this recent news that Riot actually just announced yesterday. Again, this is only a single piece. They have released significant news over the past like 6 months, again, specifically. So again, this is just a string of good news. Just in the spirit of trend spotting, this trend is likely to continue just based on the fact that they have been consistently releasing news like this. So I have to believe it will continue. We'll get into this Forbes article. Another, again, like Bloomberg, Paul Tudor Jones, Forbes, these very well-established, very reputable publications and individuals are writing about not only Bitcoin, but Riot Blockchain, which is super promising. So, Riot Blockchain, a listed NASDAQ public cryptocurrency mining company, announced late yesterday that it had produced 108 new Bitcoins in April. The company's production announcement comes before the new 1,000 Bitmain Ant miners S19s arrive and are operational. Okay, so let's break that down. Again, Riot is a Bitcoin mining company. The way they make money in the Bitcoin mining sector of their company is by using these miners. I have a video about the Bitcoin halving, and I talk about what Bitcoin miners do in that, so check that out. But pretty much, they use these mining machines to validate the Bitcoin blockchain, and for that, in turn, they are awarded Bitcoin. Okay, so they get Bitcoin in exchange for validating the Bitcoin blockchain. All right, so for doing that, they were awarded 108 new Bitcoins. Again, that is why the price of Bitcoin is so relevant to the price of Riot going forward, because the more Bitcoin they're able to mine, the more they are paid. And again, they just announced, I think a few months ago, like at the beginning of this year, they got like 2,000 to 3,000 of these Bitmain Ant miners. So the more mining machines, the more Bitcoin you can mine. The more Bitcoin you mine, the more money you make as a Bitcoin mining company, obviously. Okay, so very, very good news. You guys just keep your eye out on this. I'm not going to dive super deep into the news. But yeah, I really just wanted to turn you guys onto this company. Again, I do want to apologize for not releasing this sooner. I really wanted it to line this video up with the Bitcoin halving that was going to happen next week. I thought it would have just been well timed, but I decided to just bang this video out today instead. And I'll try to get it out tomorrow morning. I will get it out tomorrow morning for a fact, but I really wanted to turn you guys onto this company before it may be too late. But always remember, you guys, as we see on this channel a lot, what goes up never just goes straight up. It will likely correct in the future, but the earlier you're tuned onto it, the more you can watch the way it moves, and just get a good understanding before you go on and decide to actually invest in it. Okay, so proceed with caution. Also, got to shout this out. As I said before, Riot, I do pretty much only hold Riot options. Okay, I hold some stock and some of the actual Riot itself, but the majority of, like 90%, I would say, of my Riot position is in options, so call options. If you guys aren't interested in that, I definitely still see a lot of upside for the stock itself. So if you guys aren't interested, no worries. But if you want to get if you want to learn about options, I do have an options trading course for like $25. I do have a free video on it as well. So always watch as much free content as you can prior to buying any course. So yeah, just check that out if you're interested. It's a good way to support the channel. You get a direct line of access to me on both this and the portfolio course. So you get to learn the options. Then if you are interested in the portfolio course, that's literally every position in my entire portfolio, not just Riot. It's a lot of these other kind of risky asymmetric risk stocks as well, and like the more solid stocks. Okay, so it's literally my entire portfolio, stocks, options, cryptocurrencies included, that I update. It says updated weekly, but I actually update it every few days. So again, it's a good way to support the channel and potentially help yourself in the process. So I appreciate it if you guys check those out. If not, no worries. Okay, so as always, guys, feel free to drop any comments down below. Let me know what you think about Riot Blockchain, or if you guys maybe have any other potential high risk winners for the duration of 2020. Definitely let me know. And yeah, whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm always down to talk shop with you guys. Okay, so I appreciate you guys watching. Always remember, take action, make waves in this world. Until next time, peace. Peace.